Hey, good morning. This is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design. And this is the continuation of my inking of the cover for the upcoming horror anthology, Secret Comics Presents. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. Let me check. Okay, I'm guessing you can. But started this yesterday, uh, and this is the state that it's at currently. As you can tell, it's about half inked, halfway there. So, gonna try to finish it today. Hopefully in the next 3 to 4 hours. And you guys are more than welcome to hang out and watch as I try to get this finished. Let me get YouTube up on my tablet so I can actually see what's going on. But let's see. Mark Trafford's here. Hey, how you doing? Good seeing you. He says, "Wow, you really spotted those blacks since the last stream. I couldn't type what I was watching." Cool. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you were watching, Mark. Yeah, I like spotting blacks. I like spotted blacks. I think they're very dramatic, and I enjoy looking at them, but I also enjoy doing them because it requires very little detail work. You just sort of filling it in. So I don't have to be as careful as I do with my usual inking. So it's probably my favorite part of inking. Um, I wish Mike Miller would spot more blacks. He does really fantastic work, but then he does all this hatching now, and it kind of kills me because his work ends up being gray instead of black. Let's see. Oh, 3 hours and 7 minutes left until 2020. Awesome. Very cool. Well, Happy New Year to you and to everyone down under. And I hope you have a awesome New Year, one with far less fires and a lot more cooler weather. So, yeah, wishing you guys all the best. Let's see here. What am I doing? I got my drawing. Let me put this down. Let me get started. All right. But I hope you had a good Christmas, Mark. Everything is going awesomely for you. Let me turn this light on so I get a little more light so I can see a little better. All right. I can see more or less, and that is important when you draw. So I'm just gonna start drawing, and if you guys have any questions or comments or thoughts or what have you, please feel free to speak up, and I will try to reply to the best of my ability. So let's get to it. Let's see. Here it is. Make sure you guys can see what I'm drawing. Oops, dropped stuff. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me zoom in. Alright. Let's see. Put that there. Zoom in a little. There we go. That's good. That'll be more better for your viewing enjoyment. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the like button. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you would, please share this live stream out on Twitter and Facebook. And let people know that I am live streaming and drawing. I'm going to get started down at this area right now because I still have to work on her head, but I want to wait until I kind of wake up a little. My hand has gotten used to inking. If I jump into it too fast, I will surely mess things up. My hand has to get into the get into the flow. I can tell already that it is not quite there yet. My hand's not quite steady. Hey, Popefire's here. How you doing? Thank you for the like, Popefire. Appreciate it. Mark Trafford says, I got comics, graphic novels, Cyberfrog on Christmas Eve, and other stuff like socks and indies. So yeah, Christmas with the family was great. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I got I got a bunch of books, which I really like. I got a really cool book from my wife on how to write in shorthand, because I've kind of been interested in learning how to write shorthand for a while. My mom learned when she was young, and she always told me about it, and I was always had an interest in learning. So I'm gonna be reading that, and I got some books about various comic book artists. I think it's called Modern Masters. It's a series of books. I have probably about half of them, and the ones I got this year were on Chris Sprouse and who's the other guy? Chris Sprouse and oh my gosh, my brain just died. I just flipped through it. Hold on one second. Kevin McGuire. I'm dropping stuff. Yeah, Chris Sprouse and Kevin McGuire, who was a really popular artist in Justice League back in the '90s. So got those books, and what else did I get? Oh, I got a camera. Finally got a web camera, a dedicated web camera, which I still need to figure out how to work, so I can start doing drawn and quartered fan edition, and then hopefully from there the pro edition. But I gotta finagle with it and try to figure out exactly how to get it to operate properly. Right now, all it does is film and record, but I can't figure out how to make it zoom in like this image is doing right now, or to get it to do some other stuff that I want it to do. So once I figure that out, I will probably stop live streaming with this cell phone that I've been using for the last 2 years or a year and a half, and start using the actual web camera. All right. Hmm. I have to I have to keep reminding myself to try to keep the artwork within view of the camera. Keep sliding it out of frame. That's not good. All right. Now. What am I doing? Let's see. Mark Trapper says, sorry, I gotta go. The family demands I spend time with them. I'll leave the stream on. Hopefully I'll be back. Okay, thanks, Mark. Well, thanks for stopping by, and hope you have a great New Year with your family, and enjoy the fireworks. Nighthawk Warrior says, I just came to say hello and share on my Twitter. Alright, have a nice day. And I left a like. Thank you very much, Nighthawk Warrior. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to Nighthawk Warrior. He has a new comic book coming out called The Savage Hawk, I believe, so he's working on it right now.
Public Enemy number 3, 10 years ago, was released today from the federal penitentiary after serving 11 years with a 10-life sentence. To this day, the court of opinion and those who were involved in the original crime has not been made public. Police officials doubt the gold will be recovered, pointing out that should the gold be found by Congress, the insurance company will have to pay the claim. Court of opinion and gold is going to be a father. Hey, I'd like to meet this guy.
Let's try this. Hey Bethany, how you doing? Good seeing you. Hey, John Dillard's here. How you doing? Good seeing you. Hope you're doing well.
Sound is all around us, everywhere. It beats in our eardrums until much of the time we're hardly conscious of it. But on this particular Saturday morning, Jimmy Foster suddenly became very conscious of it. It seemed as though the post was vibrating. Well, he'd soon find out whether there was a vibration along with the sound. The scrap of wood showed him that when the bell sounds, it does vibrate.
All right. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Sound is all around us, everywhere. On this particular Saturday morning, Jimmy Foster suddenly became very conscious of it. Jimmy's ears were now wide open to the sounds around him.
Dillard says, "Hi, I'm headed to work. Woke up late. Not gonna have time for breakfast at Mickey D's." Oh man. Okay. Well, I appreciate your stopping by, John. Taking time out of your day. Hope you have a good day at work. Drive safely. I'm hoping to get this thing done in the next few hours. So.
That's that, but it's not all by any means.
Bethany says, "It looks awesome." Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying not to mess it up, so far I have managed to succeed. More or less. I made some mistakes, but I won't point them out. I'll let you try to find them. The whole page is a mistake. Ah, dang it, you found it. The difficulty usually I find illustration to be from easiest to hardest. Easiest is penciling. Second easiest is inking, although I'm still trying to learn it. And then the hardest for me is coloring. So that's why this is going to be a black and white book, at least on my end. Nothing wrong with black and white. Yeah, I agree, Bethany. I like black and white comic books, and I really appreciate. It takes there's a certain skill that's required in order to do them well. I I I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but if I when I look at like people like you know like pros like Dave Stevens and like you know Will Eisner and those guys. I mean, they really know how to pull out the whole film noir look with shadows and stuff, and that's something I would love to be able to learn. Um, John Diller says looks pretty good. How many book stories in the book, and are you doing all of them? Yes. How many stories are in there? I think five. And actually, you've seen them. Round three, Jiminy versus a box of crayons. Yeah, I'd probably lose. Um, as the crayons would kick my butt. Actually, you've seen the stories that Nasser showed them to us a few months ago, I think. So those are the same stories that are going to be in this anthology, John. So I'm just going to try to make them make the stories look as good as possible, and uh, hopefully make them interesting to read. Oh, just finished Savage Sword of Conan Omnibus. Inking is stunning in black and white. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're quite. It's different when you know something's going to be in black and white. You have to. I think nowadays, especially, colorists carry like a really heavy burden on sort of filling in things like shadows and form, making things look three dimensional. And when without color, when you're just doing black and white comic books, the artist has to simulate that appearance. Simulate depth and all that stuff. I remember when I got Bern Hogarth's book on light and shadow. It's really really good. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. Either get it from the library or Amazon or whatever. But I mean, just the different design techniques that are available when inking in black and white. I mean, things that I I don't know. I suppose are quote unquote common sense, but I mean, for me, when I read it, I was like, oh wow, I didn't even think about that. It was cool. So, a lot of cool stuff you can do in black and white. So, I mean, I encourage everyone to check out like Alex Toth's work. Um, like I said, Will Eisner's work in black and white. Uh, who else? Tons of people. Dave Sims, Dave Stevens. Oh, Frank Frazetta. Oh my gosh! If you look at his comic book work, um, and look at the black and white lines in that, amazing stuff. So, I'll be copying all those guys, or trying to. I'll be aping all their secrets. Saying that looks just like something he ripped off of Dave Stevens. Probably because I did. You're gonna rip someone off, rip off from the best. Hey, the metal's here. Um, ahoy there, metal. John Doe asks, "Are you doing pure inks or is it gonna be grayscale?" It's gonna be pure inks. I'm not skilled enough to do grayscale. I've never actually tried it, so it's just gonna be spotted blacks and cross hatching. Mixture of the two. I find grayscale to be almost like using full color, where you have to know values and stuff and be able to lay them down well. And I've never done it, and I would more than likely screw it up. So it's best that I avoid it altogether. Chanto says that sounds great. Cool, good. Hopefully it will look great when I'm done. It won't just look like a haphazard mess. But I'm gonna do my best. And hopefully you guys will see a lot of it being done live, like you're watching right now. I'm gonna try to do as much of the book as I can during live streams, so you guys can watch me struggle and make weird noises and vent frustration and try to bang it out. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can watch the fun and the frustration. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Just need to figure out the layouts. I'm still working on those for the book, for various pages before I start doing the pencils. So just need to finish puzzling that out. Stay for a second. Page keeps sliding down. Whoa, 10 people are watching. Holy mackerel. Wow. Well, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the stream. Getting there, slowly but surely. And I'll be finishing it during the live stream, so not planning on ending the live stream until it's done. So stick around, enjoy the fun. Hey, Felix, how you doing? Good seeing you. Hope you have a good New Year. And everybody, I hope you will be so kind as to give this live stream a thumbs up while you're here, and share it out to your friends on Facebook and Twitter. Now, I just lost my pen. Dagnabbit. What I put it? This is the fun of drawing. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. What the heck happened to it? It was right here. I put it in my lap or I put it in my pocket? Huh. Give me a second. The absent-minded artist. What the heck happened to it? I think it dropped into the same phantom zone that my extra socks go into. Oh, here it is. Found it. It was hiding. Alright. Let's see. It was tricky finding the right angle to draw from. No, that's not it. This one. Alright, there we go. It's better. The medal says, I'm always misplacing my pens and pencils, mostly just when people call me in the midst of working, I set them down someplace other than the usual spot. Yes, that usually happens. Either that or it's in my pocket, and it's usually the last place I look. This time it wasn't in my pocket, but it was actually in my pen holder right next to me where I never put my pens. But for some strange reason I decided to put my pen there that time. And it was laughing at me the entire time, mocking me. Alright. Alright. Alright, now for the fun part. By fun, I mean the stressful part that I'm most likely to screw up. The hair and head. The head, basically. I think everything else is done. Yeah, well, basically. Except for the book in front. Let's see. I get a drink of water first before I jump into the nightmare. That animated one's here. Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year. Hope you're doing good. Bethany says, no worries, you can just start over. That is true. I can always just start from scratch. Let's see. How do I approach this? It's like, let me see. Let me see. What's the best way to do this? Here? No, that will not work. I think here. We'll do it from here. That drawing is looking awesome, says that animated one. Well, thank you very much. Glad you like it. I'm trying to keep it looking awesome and not screwing it up. So, just gotta. Worst part is just the anticipation of possibly screwing it up. And that usually leads to me screwing it up, so I'm trying not to think too much about it. Just jump in. So I tend to make things worse by worrying about it. Just gotta focus on getting it done. Namay wants this. Congrats on 400 subscribers. Thank you very much. Took me a while. You blew right past me. Are you at 1,000 yet? That animated one? Should be. Your website's pretty cool, so. But onwards and upwards. Just have to keep plugging away and try to get to 500, then 600, and so on and so forth. So spread the word, everybody. Let people know about my channel and encourage them to sub. That would be a big help. Always tricky trying to figure out the right angle to draw from. The anime one says I'm not at 1,000 yet because I've taken a break from YouTube for a bit. Well, that's good. Sometimes, actually, probably most of the time, it's good to take a break from that sort of social media stuff and live real life, get real stuff done. So, YouTube should be fun. It should not be, something you stress over. I do not stress over it. If I don't get to 1,000 subs, so be it. I'll just do what I can and let the rest work itself out. Excuse me. Are you ready for college? The animated one that's coming up soon. So pretty cool. Huh? Let's see. So yeah, I've got 2 weeks off from it at the moment because of Christmas, and that which is pretty cool. Because of Christmas and that, which is pretty cool. Are you in college now? Maybe you are. You might already be in college. So, um, and if so, how do you like it? Ah, gotcha. Hmm. So college is separate from university in the UK. What's the difference? Because in the United States, the words college and university are interchangeable. They're the same. They're the same thing. They're both 4-year programs, um, usually. So yeah. What's the difference between college and university? College starting at 16, and then university starting when you're 18. Maybe college is like community college here in the United States because community college, which usually start at 18, is I think about a 2-year program, and then from there you can transfer to uh, I guess a main college, um, which is a 4-year program, but then you do your final 2 years of the 4-year program at college after doing the first 2 years at a community college. Okay, college for you is 2 years. Okay, great, cool. And you said that was animation. I think you mentioned before that you're studying like computer animation, computer graphics, or am I misremembering? Am I forgetting? It might be. Hmm. Game development, but animation and graphic design is the second year. Okay, cool, awesome, very cool, very very cool. You're gonna be a very successful guy. I'm guessing within within a decade. Very cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun. My goal is to raise enough money to live in America. Cool. That's awesome. Come on over. The water is fine. Yeah, America's a great place. I love America. I mean, I don't know. If I lived anywhere else, if I lived anywhere else, I'd probably, I don't know. I I wouldn't mind living in Scotland because I've been there before and it's really nice. And I just I don't know. I imagine in my ideal world where I could live anywhere I wanted and have any place I wanted to live, I would own a lighthouse on the coast on a cliff with a house next to it, and I'd live there. That'd be awesome. So that's my fantasy place to live. But America's cool and it's big. I mean, that's another thing I would love to do. I would love to see more of America. I mean, I've lived here for a long time, my whole life, but I've probably seen and been to maybe 10% of it, which is pathetic. But at the same time, it's so massive. There's so much to see in America that you really have to consciously take time to go and explore it because it would you know otherwise. I mean, Florida, where I live, alone is a huge state. It takes how long does it take me to drive from where I live to get out of the state? It takes about 9 hours just to get out of the state driving. I mean, it's a big state. So I've seen the rest of the country. If if you're not flying, it's a big undertaking. So the medal says it's a swinging place to be. Yes, it is. It's a pretty cool, happening, groovy place. It's pretty spiffy. So yeah, no, please come and visit, hang out, and a lot of great places to work. Especially if you're going into gaming. I mean, it's a big gaming country. I think most of the major companies are here. So we can always use more good people. So let's see. Nervous fingers. Come on. Ah. Oof. It's always little stuff that gets me. All right, that's good enough. Try not to stress over it. Never as good as you want it to be. That's why I had to keep on practicing. So eventually, your your body, your hands will start making the lines you want it to make. You start creating the art you see in your mind's eye. it's weird because I mean, you can feel when you're when you're laying down the right lines and when you're not, and it's like it's hard to. I don't know. It's hard to sort of describe. It's just like it starts to become sort of instinctive. It's like, yeah, get into that zone. Ah, see, I didn't do it right there. Bethany Franks says it takes 8 hours to get across Nebraska. Yeah, that's another big state. Um, the animated one says, I got a new drawing tablet. I'm just trying to get used to it. Yeah, it takes a while. So, I mean, like my drawing tablet is a Wacom. It's not an Intuos. It's not the type. What was that Intuos? Well, it is. I think it's yes. It's not the kind where you draw on the screen. What's that? What type of tablet is that called? Cintiq. It's not a Cintiq. It is an Intuos. Um, so yeah, I'm drawing on a tablet, but I'm looking at the screen while I'm drawing. And those type of tablets, it takes some time to get used to the sort of whole hand-eye coordination thing. Um, I've I've never had a Cintiq, so but I generally don't like drawing on tablets. I find it very awkward because I'm used to drawing by hand. So and I like the feel of paper under my hand, while I'm drawing. So it's much more natural for me. It feels much easier. The flow is much better. So. See, John Doe says, don't talk about my body. Speaking of Mind's Eye, will you be back in the Canadian Shield by Rick Piper going live on the Indiegogo January 7th? Oh, really? Oh, cool. I'll definitely give it a look. I have not really been following Rick's work on Canadian Shield. I know he's been working on it, but I need to take a look. Um, the drawing tablet I got was an XP pen 15.6 and costs £300. Wow. I'm not familiar with it, but cool. Cool. Rick invited me to come on stream the launch day, Diller, says Metal. Be right back, says the animated one. You should go on. I'm planning on it. Cool. Very cool. No, I have to check it out. I shall have to check it out. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with her face anymore because I'm worried I'm gonna screw it up. Let me finish her hands. Let's see. John Doe says, "Stop being a cheapo, Jimmy. It's Rick Bloody Piper. Just commit to backing it. Sight unseen." I'm kind of, I'm kind of a frugal nature, so I have to at least see it before I buy it. So, but I will definitely check it out. So I encourage everyone else to do it as well. And it's Rick Piper. I think his channel is Cross Comics. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to Rick Piper. He's going to be launching his comic Canadian Shield on Indiegogo on January 7th. So everybody, check him out and make sure to hit the bell so you get notifications of when he goes on. So. Oh. Alright, getting there, almost done, I think. Sure I'm forgetting something, but it's getting there. I'm gonna ink this book she's looking at. Actually, what she's looking at is the actual comic book. So this is going to be an infinity cover. Basically, she's looking at the comic book itself with her on the cover, where she's looking at the comic book itself with her on the cover, and so on and so forth, on into infinity. That's the idea behind this cover. So all that detail will be done in Photoshop after I scan this in, put the logo on, and everything else. So right now, what I have to do is draw the blank book, which I will Photoshop later. There's some. I'm trying to decide whether or not to put some detail in here that well. Hand draw that infinity, says John Dillard. John Dillard really wants me to screw this cover up. He's like Emperor Palpatine. Do it. Do it. Yeah, that's good. Alright, now I need a... Now that I was gonna say I need a... Not sure now. Should I was gonna get a French curve to draw these lines, these curved lines for the comic book. But if you can perfectly hand draw infinity, then you deserve the big bucks, says the metal. Yeah, I would. And I'd probably drive myself insane trying to do it. Which is why I'm not doing it. I was thinking about getting a French curve so I can draw these curves on the comic book, but now, of course, my brain made the untimely suggestion to make it look like an old comic book with torn edges. Which would add to the creepiness. I don't know now. Dag nabbit. My brain is killing me here. It's giving me suggestions at the last minute during a live stream, which is not good. Okay, what do you guys think I should do? A new comic book or an old comic book? I'm waiting for suggestions. Type 1 if you think I should draw a clean new comic book. New comic books is John Dillard, so that means I should draw an old one. I should always do the opposite of what John Dillard suggests. See, Felix Haas says I should make it an old comic book. Any other suggestions? Right now it's 50-50. Old, says the metal. The metal says, in fairness, you made an evil figure in fiction after yourself. What does that mean? John Dillard says, don't change your ideas in the ninth inning, you'll ruin it. But I think I've done that already. Did I do that already? I mean, I have the basic layout is there. So, I mean, me putting in some tears into the comic book wouldn't ruin it. It might make it look cool. Cooler. I don't know. I'm to make it look new for now, and then I might change it in Photoshop and add some tears to it. That way I'm covered in both ways. Maybe I'll do that. I'll make it clean for now, like a new comic book, and then I will give it a think and possibly change it to an old comic book. Maybe we can do. Maybe that's something we can do with when we have the Indiegogo. Maybe we can have two different versions, where one with the new comic book, it's in color, and then the old beat up comic book is in black and white. I don't know. You gotta think about it. Ah. But anyway, the metal. Speaking of course about the buckler. I missed your comment before. John Diller's comment where he says, "Why do people constantly compare me to evil figures in fiction?" I don't know. Maybe because I've talked to you on social media. That could be a reason. Okay, and that's why the metal made that comment. Okay, got it. See, that's what happens when I miss stuff. Metal speaking, of course, about the buckler. The wonders of Photoshop. Yes, the wonders of Photoshop. Photoshop is a pretty cool program. All right, let me get going on this. Finish this off. What time is it? It's 6:13. 6:13. French curves are tricky little devils. Find just right curve to make. All right, now use a number 0.2. I want to make the lines thicker than most of these. Get closer to the viewer. John Diller says, the Buckler is my original character villain, self-insert born loser character. You're not a born loser, John. Merry Christmas, Pope Raven. How you doing? They've been torturing Pope Fire lately. You've been a good boy. He says I'm good. Good. Glad to hear it. I hope you have a great New Year. The Roaring Twenties are about to start, so everybody needs to learn the Charleston and start driving Model Ts. The metal said, "Oh, Pope Raven says, I haven't been mean to her in a while. That's good. You guys should get along. You should be buddies. The metal says, I keep forgetting to dig it out, but I have a flexible curve for inking that bends to the desired shape. I'd probably make cleaner lines with it. I have one too, and it does not work at all. It's garbage. I wasted my money buying it. I regret ever spending my hard-earned pennies on it. So I use these, these permanent, static, solid ones, which have never let me down. John Dillard says, man, Pope Fire is the worst, am I right? Ooh, John Dillard is looking to get banned by Pope Fire, who fortunately is not modding at the moment, because otherwise John Dillard would have been timed out for his blasphemy. Pope Raven says, you are right. Ooh, Pope Raven has already turned on Pope Fire after saying that he hasn't been mean to her in a while. Oh man, the metal agrees and says, yeah, man. So harsh. So harsh with the Pope. What has Pope Fire ever done other than demand that you commit all loyalty to Starfire and punish all who do not? My curve was a gift, and it worked fine in the past. I just keep forgetting about it. Oh, cool. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you. I can never get it to work because I would bend it to whatever shape I wanted it to be at, and then it would rapidly get out of shape while I was in the middle of doing my line, and it would aggravate me to no end. I think I used it for like a week, and I just gave up on it. It's around here somewhere, gathering dust, as it should. I should probably just throw it out if I haven't thrown it out already, which I may have done in frustration and anger. Where is it? I don't know. Wherever it is, better off out of my sight is hiding wisely. Now something's going on here. Something's wrong because I am feeling like some sort of sticky residue on my curve. Hold on 1 second, and I'm putting it up against paper, and it's gonna start screwing stuff up. Let's see, show. Blasphemy. Does your wife know you are deifying a white woman? Interesting. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what that means. What my comment about Pope Fire punishing those who speak blasphemy against Starfire? Well, Starfire she's not white. She's like orange, so I don't have to worry about that. I'll be right back. I have to try to clean this thing off. It's got some weird stuff on it, which is make my hand sticky. So enjoy the music and the drawing to date while I'm cleaning this annoying thing off. I apologize. I'll be back shortly. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't let John Dillard push you guys around.
I've known and I've known some. Till I first met you, I was lonesome. And when you came inside, dear, my heart grew light and this whole world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I have to admit you. There's certain expressions that really fit you. So I cracked my brain hoping to explain all the things that you did to me. Memphis to shame. Please let me explain. Memphis to shame. It means you're right. Memphis to shame. Again, I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. It means you're the fairest. It means you're the fairest. It means
Yeah, I wasn't taking a poo, Hope Raven. I said I was cleaning off my these things, French curves. So that's what I was doing, and I got some water. So I'm back. Let me sit down. Am I wearing the right glasses? No. Hold on. Put on my drawing glasses here. See what everyone's been saying. All the trouble John Diller's been starting. Brave says I'll entertain chat for you. John Diller says she needs contrast from the tongue and teeth. Well, she has no tongue. Those are her bottom teeth. So top teeth, bottom teeth, and then space in between. Let's see. Has anyone here heard of the Canadian Shield? Yeah, that's Rick Piper's Cross Comics character. Metal says like some curve hatching with the grain of the inner cheek lining. Okay. John Doe says no. What's that? Okay. All right. They're goofing around. All right. Cool. That's true, John Diller. I am old and I can't be rushed because I might get a hemorrhoid. Oh, you're talking about in terms of no, I don't get hemorrhoids. You didn't know I was French? Ah, okay. I can count to 10 in French. I learned that in first grade. We do trois, quatre, cinq, six, net, huit, neuf, dix. That's all French I know. No, I know that from that song, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? I know some French. And I like French fries, so I met this really cool French au pair on the train in New York once back in the 90s, and we became pen pals. That was fun, but that's about all the French I know. All right, let me finish this. See if I can. Still seems to be some weird residue on here. Let's see if I can erase it. Yeah, that got rid of it. All right, let me see. junk is still in there. Okay, I will be right back. Sorry about that. It's annoying as heck. There's some weird residue on my French curd that I hope to have gotten off the first time I washed it, but when I put it down again, it started showing up. I had to like physically scrape it off while I was washing it. Very annoying. Ugh. John Doe says he forgot to wipe. Yeah, I didn't make sure that it was all off, and of course, it came back to surprise me. In the butt, but it's gone now. This curve is clean. Amazing how long it takes just to get a good curve. me do some pencil first, before I screw it up. Da, 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 da. The downside of live streaming, people are stuck watching you fiddle over all this piddly stuff that I tend to stress over, like getting curves right. Guess that's good enough. I appreciate all your patience hanging out and watching me while I sort of stress over this. Mel says better off than if I was doing it. I'd be like screw it and then freehand the curve for better or for worse. Yeah, I mean I'm almost at, well, I'm not quite at that point, but I know that if I tried doing that, I would really screw it up worse than I'm doing by trying to use this French curve. So it's better that I just sort of plow through it. Jimmy, do you live on the East Coast? Yes, I do. I live in Florida. So, oops. It is 6:44 right now, where I am. Oh, cool. Pope Raven also lives in Florida. Very cool. Florida is a nice place to live. There are worse places, despite what you may see in the news. It's very, weather's nice. Actually, the only downside is that the fact that it's warm 90% of the time. Actually, maybe more than that. So when winter comes, it's kind of like, man, you miss. Well, I miss the snow anyway. A lot of people don't. Do you know Andrew and Avery from Misfit Corner Comics? No, I do not. I've never actually heard of them. So, but no, I'm not familiar with them. Are they? I'm assuming they're based in Florida. Okay. Yeah, well, Florida's a big place. I mean, I don't. Maybe I don't know if people realize how big it is. I mean, I mean, is it one of the bigger states? It's big. Because my mom lives in New York, and she's always telling me about she's when she takes road trips to like New England and stuff. I've lived in Florida for so long that the idea of like traveling to another state on a day trip or several different states on a day trip from home is pretty unthinkable. I mean, it would, like I said, it takes a good 9 hours to get out of the state of Florida from where I am. I'm not even on the southern tip of Florida. Well, I'm kind of there, but I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm north of Fort Lauderdale and Miami, so which Miami is like an hour south of me. I mean, if I lived in say like Key West, how long would it take me to get out of Florida? It would take 12 hours to get out of Florida. I mean, it's a big state. Um, the medal says Florida just looks bad because they have open book rules on reporting crimes that are tighter in most other states. What does that mean? Do you mean that they report on crimes that they may not report on in other states? Is that what you mean? I mean, every state has like weird crimes, um, so they probably just don't get reported. But Florida's a cool place to live. One of the best things about it, I mean, for me is, I mean, it's there are no state income taxes, and I think that's awesome. So when tax time comes around, I don't have to worry about it. I just have to worry about the federals, the feds. So and it's reasonably priced down here. I mean, moderately priced, I'd say. It really depends on where you live. Isn't all the information publicly available so they can be. Okay, got it. Got it. Understand. Yeah, whereas, yeah. Also, I live in Texas, so I can relate to driving in one direction all day, never exiting the state, and the tax part too. Yeah, Texas is another state that's really cool. And the only thing that would keep me from moving to Texas are, and again, this is me, the wildlife, mainly rattlesnakes and tarantulas. I am a fan of neither, so I would constantly be terrified into running into one or the other. So that would keep me from moving to Texas. But Texas is a cool state. Of course, in Florida we have water moccasins, but as long as you don't go into the swamp, you're pretty you're pretty safe from them. And I have no intention of going back into the Everglades. I took a summer trip to the Everglades when I was a kid, with my high school group. My biology teacher. It was like a camp, summer camp. And we went to various different places throughout the Everglades, and the state of Florida, north and south. And it was, it was not fun for me anyway. So a lot of stuff I would rather not see. Mainly big spiders. Florida's got a lot of them. Let's see. This is right? Yeah, I think this is right. Come on, dang it, messing up. Whew, dang. Making curves is stressful. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, I keep hitting my head against the camera. I gotta keep in mind to keep the artwork in view. Oh. John Joe says, I'm not asking because I think everyone in Florida knows each other. I'm asking because they're small CG YouTubers. Andrew has a comic store at a flea market. You should hang out and collab. Where's a flea market? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the flea market could be 7 hours away. I've never heard of them. They're small YouTube Comicsgate YouTubers. Okay, I've never heard of them. What are their names again? Andrew and Avery, Misfit Corner Comics. I'll look them up on YouTube. Because like I said, I'm unfamiliar with them. Yeah, we'll check them out. Alright. Now, let's see this. And you guys are now seeing the boring part of me drawing. It's a freaking curve. Why am I taking so long trying to get this thing right? It's annoying me. I know why, because I know if I don't do it right, it's gonna annoy the heck out of me. But still, it should be at least be somewhat entertaining for you guys. All right, that's good enough. All right, let me get these side curves in. He's a creator of. Okay. Yeah, I know his book. He's a creator of the kid-friendly book Hero, the one that looks like a brown raccoon. Okay, I know that guy. I know his art. Yeah. You should have just started with that, John. But I am familiar with his book. It looked pretty cool. I keep hitting the frickin' camera with my head. My head's too big. Dang, just did it again. Dang it. Oof. Thing with such a big head, I would have more brains inside of it, but let's see. That's what she said, yes. She's not that concerned about the brains in my head. But I'm dumb. John is practicing the art of the incremental buildup of reputation. Can't start with the best details, gotta work toward it. Yeah. He's working on the fine art of burying the lead. Come on. Okay, this is better, I think. John Doe says, I saw The Rise of Skywalker. It was hilarious. Yeah, it made no sense. On large parts, it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. It was. I saw it last week with my wife. It was bad. Okay. Okay. Luke Skywalker, when he dies, he disappears. When Kylo Ren dies, he disappears. I don't know why, because he was evil for 99.9% of the movie, and then he disappears. Why? When Darth Vader died, he didn't disappear. When they gave him a funeral pyre. When Princess Leia died, she didn't disappear, but then she does disappear 3 days later after Kylo Ren dies. Why? None of it makes sense. It does not make sense whatsoever. You have good guys who've been one with the Force, and on the light side of the Force, disappearing right after they die. You have other people like Princess Leia who wait 3 days later or a couple days later, lying in state and then disappearing, and she disappears after her evil son disappears. Why does he disappear? How come Darth Vader didn't disappear? The whole thing made no sense. It was so inconsistent. It was a mess. On the other hand, The Mandalorian was fantastic. If you guys have not seen The Mandalorian, go check it out now. It is awesome. It was really, really, really good. Well done. The final episode of the season came out last week, and it was very, very entertaining. Very well done. I mean, there are polar opposites. The sequel trilogy and the Mandalorian, which was a half hour to 40-minute mini series. It was Mandalorian was just blew Rise of Skywalker out of the water. They're trying to establish the Super Mama's Boy connection. I think it didn't make any sense though. That's what I'm saying. What Princess Leia, even though she was dead, her body was hanging out, waiting for Kylo Ren to finally become good. What if he never became good? Would her body just be sitting there forever? It made no sense at all. It was just dumb. And why would her dead body care whether or not Kylo Ren turned to the light side of the Force or not? It's just her body. She's dead. It was completely ridiculous. Ah, dag, nabbit, smeared it. Ah, I got through 95% of the cover without smearing anything. All right, hold on. Oh, there you go. Paper towel, yay. Ah, dead, burn it. Always happens, always happens, always happens. Look at that. It's just sitting there mocking me, the big smear. Oh well. Carry on, carry on. Sure won't be the last smear I make. Just have to wait a few seconds until the ink dries before removing it. And then wipe off the edge. Oh, hey, that animated one. Glad you're back. John Doe says, when Ray demands a wayfinder and Kylo gasps, I laughed out loud. Oh, yeah, it was. The whole thing was stupid. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And then she makes out with him at the end. It's like, what the, what? This guy has killed half of your friends and has been trying to kill you for the last 3 movies. Why are you kissing him? It was like watching a bad Twilight fanfic. It was like watching, if I don't know who wrote Twilight, who knows? But if she wrote, if they hired her to write a Star Wars movie, that's what the Rise of Skywalker would have been. That's how bad it was. I don't know how much. I know it's just experience and years of doing it, but I mean, I watch Mike Miller like inking and stuff, and how fast he does it. I'm just like, it boggles my mind. I don't know how he does it. It's like, sheesh. And he's using like straight, you know, he's using French curves and all this stuff, and he's just like whipping through it. Ah, for me, it's like pulling teeth. It takes forever. Aren't they like first cousins, once removed or something like that? Both of them are related to Big Papa Palpatine. Well, no, because what's his face isn't related to Palpatine. Um, not Kylo Ren. He's not related to Palpatine. He's the son of Princess Leia and Han Solo, and Princess Leia is Darth Vader's daughter. So they're not blood related. It just doesn't make sense in terms of the in terms of the narrative. It's just bad. It's just bad writing. It's stupid. I mean, it'd be like if in the movie Wonder Woman, if at the end of Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman started making out with Ares for no reason, you know, it's just like yeah, no. Or you know, Jean Grey started making out with Magneto at the end of one of the X-Men movies, just because. This way's better. Palpatine was confirmed to be Anakin's dad in the Disney comics. I don't know anything about that. The Disney comics. Disney made comics of for Star Wars. I've never heard of them. Um, and would that even be considered canon? I have no idea. Because I don't consider these new movies to be canon. For me, Star Wars ended with Return of the Jedi. Everything after that, and kind of before that, to me is fanfic. I ain't buying it. Especially when George Lucas didn't have any part in making them. It's like, meh, whatever. Whatever. It was hard to watch and sad. You could feel how hard JJ was trying and failing. I, I don't, I don't, you know, I don't have any feelings regarding JJ Abrams one way or the other. I mean, he's a filmmaker, but my problem is that they didn't plan the entire trilogy out ahead of time before they made the first movie. You know, it's like they were just slapping them together, making it up as they went along, and to me, that's just bad filmmaking. If you know you're making a trilogy, you should at least have an outline of what happens in each movie. And then even if you hand them off to different directors, the directors have to follow that outline. The fact that they obviously didn't, they started off with one movie and then sort of went off the rails with The Last Jedi. Then they had to come back and try to fix what went wrong in The Last Jedi in this movie. Shows they didn't have control over what they were making, and that's just bad. So Metal says, I don't consider the new film canon either, but the comics are canon to Disney stuff. You even have to read a comic to catch the catch the rest of Lando's tie-in story to this film. So, I mean, is this a Marvel comic book? When you say it's a Disney comic, I don't know what that means. Disney doesn't have a comic book branch unless you're talking about Marvel Comics. Is this a Marvel comic? Is this from Dark Horse? What is this comic from? Who made it? The Force Awakens was a terrible reboot of a new. I know it's terrible. I know, Felix. I agree. I mean, they were all ripping off the previous movies instead of being original movies on all their own. It was like watching Superman Returns, which was basically ripping off the original Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve. It's like, don't rip off a better movie to make your movie. Either make something completely new and original, or don't make it at all. I don't want to see uh, a bad carbon copy of a movie that millions of people already love. No one wants to see that. Listen up. All right. But did you guys like The Mandalorian? What were your thoughts on it? Jiminy, why are you drawing a comic book with only 10 pages? Love The Mandalorian. Well, it has more than 10 pages because it's front and back. So it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 pages. So, each page has front and back. So, and the book is about, I think it's 22 pages. There are no ads in this book, as far as I know. So, that's all going to be art.
Sound is all around us, everywhere. It beats in our eardrums until much of the time we are hardly conscious of it. But on this particular Saturday morning, Jimmy Foster certainly became very conscious of it.
Felix Haas says The Mandalorian had some good episodes, but also some pretty mediocre episodes too. I liked 1 through 3 and the last 2, but the rest were meh. Well, I mean, I kind of compare it to, it's a half-hour show, and so, I mean, for a half-hour show, they put a lot into that 30 to 40 minutes, and I was very impressed by that. And I was also very impressed. I mean, even some of the episodes that were meh. I was very impressed by how much they got the sort of essence of Star Wars, as opposed to these 2.5 hour, multi-million-dollar, big screen extravaganzas they've been putting out. I mean, the Mandalorian, even the Meh episodes were more entertaining than any of these last 3 movies they put out by Disney. So I give Jon Favreau and those other guys who put that show together. I give them a lot of credit. I mean, I mean, using characters that no one's ever seen before, um, and building on the whole sort of lore of the Mandalorians and stuff. I mean, they did to my mind, a spectacular job. So even if they had a few meh episodes, episodes that weren't, they didn't make me jump out of my seat or cheer, you know, I got exactly what I was hoping for when I saw that first trailer for it. I mean, I thought it was a fantastic show. I mean, it was so good that you know my wife and I looked forward to watching it every week. Every week, we're waiting every Friday for a new episode to come out, and that rarely happens. I think Disney was very smart to make it a weekly show as opposed to just putting out all the episodes at one time for streaming so people could binge watch. I mean, they really extended the life of its popularity by doing that. Very, very, very smart move on their part. They made it something that you would talk to people with over the water cooler on Monday. Very smart. Those last two episodes were really good. I mean, I'm very impressed by them. And I'm not really a big Star Wars fan either. I mean, there was a lot of stuff in there that I was asking my friends about. It's like, what was that? I mean, who was that person? I mean, but and but they put a lot of stuff in there into that series. It's very That's another thing that was I thought was very good. I mean, they a lot of fan service and a lot of they include a lot of stuff the um, from the books and from what was it the cartoons. Um, Things were in there, so yeah, very cool. I was most impressed by Carl Weathers still looking like a brick house. The man's in fantastic shape. He was bursting out of his collar. Yeah. Carl Weathers is old. He's definitely kept up his his exercise routine. So he looked great. So I'm glad to see him doing regular work again. Very talented guy. So I liked his character too. I was glad when the Mandalorian didn't kill him. He just shot his the Beskar in his shirt. He didn't take him out so he could come back. Thought that was cool. I just like the whole way they sort of set up the character of the Mandalorian. It made him very likable. Even though he was a bounty hunter and you couldn't see his face or anything, just his actions made you root for the guy. And it's weird because in 8 episodes, I cared more about every character on that show, from the Mandalorian to Carl Weathers' character to the Krill, the little guy who was helping Mandalorian and everything. Baby Yoda. You cared more about those characters in 8 episodes than I ever cared about Finn or Poe or Ray or any of those people. I couldn't care less what happened to them, you know, and that's just superior writing, superior characterization, and Mandalorian had it. Unlike Billy D. Williams, who shows up and just laughs in every scene. That drunk old hippie. Oh man. Honestly, the staggered release and number of episodes are why I have yet to watch it. Well, now you have a chance to binge watch it. You can watch it all at once now, so you have no excuse. But it was. I think it really worked in its favor. The fact that they held off with only one episode a week. Ah, smeared it again. Dagnabbit. Too fast. Ah, I hate that. Ah. Too impatient. Your Billy D laugh is pretty good, Jiminy. Okay, I didn't notice I was doing it. It is on the list. Okay, good. You should watch it. Definitely check it out. Critical Blast says that's freaking awesome line work. Thank you. Until I screwed up right here. Now I have to wipe that out later on. So, yeah, you watch me more than 10 seconds, you will guaranteed to see me screw up. Yeah. Dad burn it. I was almost done too. Just kind of slow down. I like how Billy D just showed up with his friends and destroyed the entire empire. Oh yeah. Yeah, well that's he pulled a Han Solo there. Except with Han Solo it was a little more credible, you know, with one ship showing up to save the day. Let me try turning it around. It might work better. Yeah, it makes it easier, so I can really see what I'm doing. Reduce the chances of me messing up. Alright. Alright. Put my glasses on straight. That will help. Alright. That's okay. Oh yeah. Let's see. Felix Haas says Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon was amazing. Yeah, he was. He was so cool. I kept calling him Juan Williams. I don't know if you guys watch Fox News, but Juan Williams is a commentator on the show The Five. Every time he would show up, I would call him Juan Williams. My wife is getting annoyed with me. But yeah, he was cool. Great villain. I loved him. Really, just very cool, very cold. I mean, not unfeeling. He was unfeeling, pretty much. He was just a very, very dastardly character. Um, he was awesome. I loved him, and I loved. I don't know who played her, but I guess they're calling her the Mandalorian, the female Mandalorian, the blacksmith. I loved her too. I thought she was a great character. There's so many good characters in that show. Ah, man, man, really good show. Seriously, the metal. If you gotta watch that show. It's really good. My only beef with the episode was Moff Gideon giving them till sundown. Like, what the? Why? Yeah. Well, they had to give him some excuse. So, give him time for the droid to come in and save the day, or try to. So they didn't end up getting till sundown anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it was so cool when at the end, I knew he wasn't dead, but when he comes out with that dark saber, that was just. And I had no idea what it was. I'd never seen one before. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really a Star Wars fanatic. So I know what I've seen. I know what I know of Star Wars is what I've seen in the main movies. I never watched the cartoons or read the books or anything. So I had to ask my friend Andy, who is a big Star Wars fan and who owned all the books and seen most of the cartoons and stuff. Like, what was that? And he sort of gave me a backstory on all that stuff. So I thought that was really neat how they incorporated all that stuff into the show. Keep hitting the camera. Stop it. I apologize for the shaky cam. That's me being clumsy. So yeah, I was very impressed with it. Very impressed with the show. It is 7:30 and the sun is out. Let's see if I can get this done by 8. See if I can get this done without screwing it up further. That is more unlikely. Alright. And I messed up a little, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Turn it this way. Let's see. Alright, now. I'm being very clumsy today with my inking. Very, very clumsy. Alright, almost done, almost done, almost done. Only thing is, I gotta figure out, I don't know what's going on in the back of the book. I don't know. I gotta ask Nasser. We gotta puzzle that out between us, figure out what we're doing. A poster, an ad for one of his upcoming books. I don't know. So. Should that be a straight line or should it just be a curve? I'll make it a straight line or curve. Doesn't matter. Straight line, make it easy. Although, it's a essentially a straight line, so you wouldn't notice anyway, I don't think. Yeah, that's good enough. Good enough, good enough, good enough, good enough, good enough. All right. Now, this is essentially the cover. You guys can see it. It's all slow pan it. Some minor cleanup to do, but this is more or less it. And then of course the logo will go here. Nasser's Secret Comics logo for his company will go here. And maybe, I don't know, some text, I don't know, gotta figure that out. But let me erase the pencil lines so I have a clear idea of what I'm working with here. What might need to be added. Yeah, I think I need some more lines in this hand. All right. I know when I scan this in, it's gonna pick up every frickin' pencil line that I neglect to erase. And I'm gonna spend the next couple hours trying to clean these inks up even more. Murphy's Law, Murphy's Law. Some other lines to add. that one. Let me look in the. Metal says, "I know that feeling. I do a lot of cleanup in Photoshop." Yeah, me too. And I don't like doing it because I like I said, I'm not really that as comfortable working, drawing on the tablet as I am on paper. So I'd much rather see and erase that stuff before I scan it. But a lot of times I just don't notice it, and I even if I did, I would think it was so faint it wouldn't be picked up. But of course, it always is picked up by the scanner, and it ends up frustrating me. Let's see. All right, let me try this. Too much. Too much. Is that okay? Might be okay. I guess I'll have to clean up in Photoshop. All right. Let me continue on before I cause more damage. Let's see. Clean these edges up. Also, I need to increase the border build up the border on the comic book. It needs to be thicker. There, that's better. It needs to be somewhat thick. Metal says could be worse. I don't even use a tablet. Oh wow, use a mouse to do your computer art with? That would be torturous for me. You must be some heck of an artist in order to pull that off. I do not envy you. I've been using a tablet, I think since the 90s, but yeah, I was very happy once I was able to start using one. It's way better than trying to clean things up and draw with a mouse. Using a mouse to do artwork, I mean, it's fine for graphic design where you're just moving things around, but when you're actually drawing and trying to clean things up, it's like trying to draw with a brick. So, kudos to anyone who is able to manage it. Is that thick enough? I don't know if that's thick enough. Hey, John Doe says, okay, I have to go yell at the receiving crew. Take care, Jiminy. Okay, thanks. You too, John. If I don't see you beforehand, have a great New Year. The mouse says, takes more patience than it does skill. Control Z a lot and just clean up in colors. I have the bulk of the artwork by hand on paper. Yeah, but even still, it's just like it's I don't have the patience. I guess that's what it boils down to. Um, you know, you do need a lot of patience to do that. Let dry. It's dry. It's dry. Sorry, I'm drawing off screen again. It's trying to make that line distinctive and thick enough to be distinctive from, bring it to the foreground as opposed to the background where she is. So they're obviously on different planes. Ah, freaking noggin keeps bumping the camera. I apologize for this taking so long. Let me try tilting this so I don't have to. Is that better? Let me see. Gotta wait for the YouTube to catch up. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Now you guys can actually see. Alright, let's try this. See, Nasser Rabadi says, I had a nightmare. It's what I get for reading ghost stories before bed. You must have read one of your own stories then. Now you know how we all feel when we read your stuff, Nasser. It's a living nightmare. How you doing, Nasser? Happy New Year. Well, it's not New Year yet, but it's coming. So hope you have a very happy New Year, a very successful New Year, particularly with this comic. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I try not to read scary stories because they scare me. So, have you seen what was a movie I saw when I think about it, still scares me? Um, uh, Paranormal Activity. Watch that movie if you haven't already, Nasser. That's a scary movie. It scared me anyway. Are you gonna go see The Grudge, Nasser? No, you haven't seen it. Nasser says he's a horror fan, a horror movie fan, but he has not seen Paranormal Activity. Okay? Are you gonna go see The Grudge when it comes out? The new remake, or rather the third. Actually, it's the third remake if you include the Japanese version. So, all right. Let me continue with the cleanup of this cover. The new Grudge movie looks okay, says Nasser, but not compelling enough to go see it. Yeah, I have no interest in seeing it. I mean, I saw the original, thought that was awesome. I mean, the Japanese version, I thought was really good. Didn't see the American versions. I tend not to like American versions of Japanese and European horror because they're usually lame. So I'll just watch the originals. Remember when I saw Let the Right One In? Um, the what country was that from? Sweden? Can't remember, but it was a vampire movie. Very good. The original was. I had no interest in seeing the American version because I knew they would water it down and it wouldn't be nearly as good. It was the same with the. Well, I did see. What was it? The girl with the dragon tattoo. I saw the. I saw the American version, but I saw all the Swedish versions first, and the American version wasn't nearly as good. So. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Thicknesses are okay for the lines. Um, and Nasser, we need to. Nasser says, "Let the right one in" is great. Yes, it was. We need to discuss what's going on the back cover of this book at some point. Um, I didn't know if you wanted an ad for one of your other books, or if you wanted a pin up, or what. Or if you wanted a pin up and have some other artist do it. We need to talk about that. So, and then when we can incorporate it into the cover at some point. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty much the cover. Let me zoom out so you guys can see it. Oh, let's zoom in, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Back up. There we go. Stupid camera. All right, here's the cover. There's gonna be some minor cleanup of some of the mistakes I made, but of course I always have to go in and make this an infinity cover using this artwork. So there's still work to do on it, but this is more or less what the cover will look like. Got to put the logo on here, some other stuff. Not sure what text Nasser wants to put on here, so we got some work to do with it. But this is the extent of the illustration on it. So the medal says, I really like Junji Ito. I wish more American remade Japanese horror films actually captured his essence. I guess that's the creator of The Grudge. Yeah, I mean, I just think the mindset of Western, or rather, I should say American, because I mean, European filmmaking is distinctly different than American filmmaking. I think the mindset of a lot of American filmmakers is so different from Asian filmmakers that it's hard for them to capture that same sort of terror that Japanese horror films can evoke. I mean, I can't watch Japanese horror movies that much because I find them generally scary. I don't know if it's the visuals or what. I mean, they're able to make really scary stuff. Um, and American horror movies, they're more based on gore than anything else. And I guess that's fine. But like I said, I mean, when I saw Paranormal Activity, there was hardly any gore in it, but it scared the heck out of me. And yeah, so yeah, I tend to avoid horror movies for the most part because they tend to scare me, which is weird since I'm drawing a horror comic book now. But oh well. Let's see. What do I do next? Let me try to clean some of this stuff up. My mistakes, my smearage. Oh. Alright, I'll be right back. Let's see. Got my whiteout paint here. Alright, that needs to be. It needs to be mixed up and stuff. So, let's see. Junji Ito was primarily a mangaka, creator of manga. First and foremost, excellent imagery in his horror work. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't know, Asian filmmakers and artists, manga, I mean, can create some terrifying things. I remember, what was that anime that I really liked? It was terrifying. I mean, not terrifying, but it was very scary. It was called oh, what was the name of it? I really liked it. It was I can't remember the name of it. It had one of the main characters was a girl with a white eye patch because one eye was, I think, glass, like a doll's eye. It was weird. It was called. I keep thinking, question, the answer, the something. I gotta dip out for now, Jason. Cover looks beautiful. Okay, good. Thanks, Nasser. Glad you like it. What if? No. What was it called? It was called Answer. Can't remember the name of it, but it was scary. Anyway, I gotta mix my pro white to make corrections. I'll be back in a second. So hang on. It's not finished yet. right. Yeah, this stuff, Pro White. You have to sort of mix it like peanut butter. If you let it sit for a while, like for weeks or months, because the oil that's inside of it rises to the top. So when I opened it up, it was just like brown oil, and the actual white mixture is underneath. So mix it up, and it's all white. But then when you first open it, it's like, what is that? But I know what it is. It's just the mixture not being mixed. Right. Let me do this carefully so I don't spill it all. Fortunately, there aren't many corrections, so. Minor cleanup. And I think that's it. That's about it. Rest is doable. Sorry about that. I had my brush in my mouth while I was trying to clean up. So anyway, let's see. Is it still zoomed out? Yeah, it is. All right. I think that's it. So I guess I'm gonna end the stream now. Let me just check. Okay, that's good. Now I got some erasing to do, so a few more minutes. But yeah, everybody, if you haven't already, please give this live stream a thumbs up. I know it's been a little boring for you guys. Sort of watching me struggle with French curves and the like. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and spend some time with me. Spend your morning with me, or your evening, depending on where you are. And I want to wish every one of you a very, very happy New Year. Hopefully 2020 will be spectacularly profitable, successful, and fun for you, with lots of awesome comics in your future. Hopefully this will be one of them. You guys will choose to purchase it when it becomes available this coming March. And I'm trying to get as much done with it as possible before the Indiegogo launches. So make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you guys can watch me work on it, and you can see more live streams like this one. So, let's see, what else am I missing? What else have I missed? I want to keep my cleanup in Photoshop to a minimum. So, a lot of places where it's like light ink. I want to go over it, so I don't have to worry too much. So when I erase, it picks up some of the ink. The metal says it's looking really good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out and talking with me, the metal. I do appreciate that. I know that it can get a little boring sometimes having to watch someone work on something like this for long periods of time, so I appreciate the time. Mark Travers says, Happy New Year, Jiminy Cricket, and everyone in the chat. 2020, baby. 15 minutes to go. Oh, go for me. Oh, cool. Awesome. Congratulations. Mark Trafford is in the future. Do they have flying cars in 2020? Mark Trafford, that's what I want to know. You know, I am always amazed by how that we are pretty much in the future. I mean, because I wasn't alive back then, but I tend to think of 1920 as not being that long ago. And probably because I watch a lot of old movies, so it's like I see movies from that era. And it's like it's been 100 years since some of those films have been made. I always find that weird. As a fellow artist, probably not as boring as it would be for one who is not. Yeah, that's true. Because I like watching people draw on YouTube. So a little boring. Did I miss the exciting part? This John Dillard. Yeah, you did. But I'm glad you were here for the boring part, which was which should have been the fastest part, but it went like really, really slow. Drawing this comic book with curves, that took a long time, a lot longer than I had hoped. So freehand is much speedier. So, and my playlist is done. So I think that's a good time to end the live stream. And just fill in these blacks. One final time. Hope I don't mess it up. I'll probably go back in Photoshop and fill in those blacks. Flying cars and all sorts of crazy stuff. Can't wait for you guys to catch up. Yeah, seriously. I'm looking forward to jetpacks like the Mandalorian had and all that good stuff. So, transporters. Can't wait. Oh, if you guys have a chance, check out NASA's YouTube channel. They had a really cool animation on their plans on flying to the moon and returning. I just saw it. I guess I saw it earlier today or yesterday. It was really neat. Reminded me a lot of those old Disney cartoons from the 50s when they did stuff like that. So anyway, this is my cover for Secret Comics Presents. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching me ink it. and I'll post it on Twitter, Facebook. You guys can check it out there. But yeah, this is it for now. I'm gonna scan this in, finish it off in Photoshop and InDesign, and put in a logo and stuff. And yeah, you guys will be able to see it. I'll probably post a finished artwork tomorrow, New Year's Day. So, well, for Mark Trafford, that's today. But for most of the rest of us, it will be tomorrow. So, anyway, look for it on Twitter if you haven't already. You can follow me on Twitter. Just go into the About section of my YouTube channel. All my contact info is there. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Please give this live stream a thumbs up, and please hit the bell for notifications of future videos. I'm going to be doing some more stuff in the coming weeks and months, days possibly. But until then, I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Wishing you guys all the best, and thank you again for your time and spending some of it with me. I do greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys later. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Well, that didn't work. Let me try this. That didn't work. See? Now I'm boomeranging it up. That's no surprise. Don't worry. I'm old. Talk to you guys later. Bye.